I recently remembered that I have a ton of Game Informer magazines just sitting in my apartment, and I thought, you know what, let's go through some of these. Let's see if we can find anything interesting to yap about. Now, there is more under the camera that you can't see. This is a pretty tall stack, so let's just see what we can find. Destiny 2. You know we had to have this one. I think I need a better camera angle for this, actually. Hello there. My tripod is very unstable, so this might be a little bit wobbly. I'm sorry about that. Let's flip through something. So we got an Octopath Traveler ad right off the back. I think that's kind of cool. I haven't played this game yet. I played the demo, but I never finished it. I think I just I wasn't in the mindset to play a turn-based strategy game. Anyway, E3 and the Hot 50. I'm gonna guess that this is like 2017, 2018. I don't remember when Octopath Traveler came out. It must have been 2017. Oh yeah, it was definitely around that time. When did I Snicker bar ad? So, fun fact about me, if you don't, ooh, hello E3. So fun fact about me, I am currently in school to be a designer, or at least get into the like design, maybe even just social media marketing management type of thing. Actually, we'll get back to this. I want to show you something. So I've been making magazines lately and my first magazine project was to just do like a specific era, and I really wanted to show this actually. So obviously I did the 2000s. Very predictable on my part. This is really short, I promise. We'll get back to the magazine soon. I sort of did all of this like, you know, typical 2000s jazz, but I really wanted to show you guys this page because this is the page that my class really loved. And if you follow me on Bluesky or Instagram, you've probably seen these. I think I posted a short about this too, but I made this gaming magazine spread just sort of to get the general vibe of 2000s ads, or at least like try to get that like futuristic 2000s look. This was the page I did first. I really wanted it to look like a Game Boy Advance ad at first, and then I remembered that I was making this whole project and I decided to throw the PSP in here. But I basically looked through a bunch of old Game Boy Advance ads and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the quote, "The future of gaming is in your hands," and I'm just gonna do whatever I want. This is actually super relevant to the video, so I thought this was probably a good chance to show you that I am super proud of how this turned out. And then on this page I did the basic like, here's gaming in the 2000s. I added this little fun fact about Halo and Metroid Prime because not enough people know that Metroid Prime was once, at least like in journalism, considered the competitor to Halo. I don't think anyone actually read the magazines when we were looking through these in class, but you know what? You guys will know. You guys will see that. I'm very proud of that. Something I thought was super interesting when making the text for this page is these two paragraphs are just copy pasted from their respective websites. PlayStation and Nintendo both have a section on their website dedicated to their older consoles. Xbox doesn't. Xbox had, at least from what I found at the time of making it, I couldn't find a single thing of them showing like a timeline of their older consoles, which is super weird because you think they would. I made up a little paragraph about that. If you're interested, there's a little glimpse for you to read these. But yeah, I'm super proud of how these turned out. I made this page first. It was completely unrelated to this project, and then I made this one. And I really didn't want to resize this to be the proper size, so I threw in the PlayStation 2 spine in the middle, and people actually really liked that, so I'm happy about that. Other pages looked like, but I mainly just wanted to show you this one. I thought it was really relevant. Anyway, pretty much the point I was trying to make with that is looking at magazines like this are super helpful, especially when it comes to topics I enjoy and seeing how they lay everything out. So I'm a big fan of this little thing. Anyway, Devil May Cry 5 was first shown at this E3. I don't think I remember E3 2018. Or maybe I just didn't watch the Xbox one. I definitely watched the Nintendo one. Square Enix just debuted Just Cause 4 and a new world from Kingdom Hearts 3. No announcement from Halo. Oh snap. Death Stranding, Spider-Man. Of course. I like that they gave them grades. Hold up, what was the Xbox one? B for box. Oh shit! This was the Smash Brothers E3. I do remember this. Offering exhaustive details about Smash Bros. Ultimate, which was great for the fans, but probably sounded like a foreign language to others. That's kind of crazy. Devil May Cry 5. I played Bayonetta 1 on my Steam Deck recently, and I just beat Bayonetta 2. It's really piqued my interest in this genre of action games, so I have decided to start playing the Devil May Cry games. I'm very excited to get to 5, since I've heard that one's a ton of fun. Halo Infinite. The trailer of Halo Infinite, that is crazy. Doom Eternal, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Starfield? I forgot that Starfield was announced that early on. That is crazy. That is so crazy. Fire Emblem Three Houses, though. I remember this reveal. I was so incredibly excited for Three Houses. Three Houses, I think, was the last Fire Emblem game I really enjoyed. I'm sorry to people who liked Engage or any of the Warriors games. I really liked Three Houses because of how big it felt, especially when the Switch was, like, still pretty new. And Three Houses didn't look the greatest visually. It was so amazing. At least to me. To little ol' me, it was pretty good. I spent so many hours on it. If you played this game, I was a Golden Deer kid. But that's just because I thought that Claude was like the funnier leader of the game. But that game was my entire personality for a minute. And you know, we gotta get to the featured game section. My boyfriend would have so much to say about the Destiny 2 section. If my boyfriend has something to say about the Destiny 2 section, I will put that here.
What's up, Fart Nation? I'm the boyfriend. Girlfriend asked me to do this. These are actually all my Game Informer magazines. I don't know if I haven't watched this video, so I have no clue if she mentions that. This is actually all I'm talking about. I don't even know why this is here. This is the one. I would read this non-stop in excitement for Rise of Iron. This is the part. Brother. I think I was 2016. I'd be like maybe 12, maybe 11 when the hype was rolling. I remember I was so excited for Rise of Iron, so when this got announced, or sorry, Taken King, so when this got announced, this was like the first release where I was actually like anticipating the release. I mean, I reread this tons of times, kind of just going over, you know, the various things it's featured, the raid armor, the trials armor, you know, just, I was a hunter main personally, so of course I was rocking that cat armor, bruh. The artifacts, obviously, artifacts do not work like they used to in D2. I mean, this was a huge rework, the artifact system, because they were completely different back during Rise of Iron. And just the art and like just everything that it details. This was the hype right now. Of course, I don't think Game Informer, maybe it's covered Destiny, but I don't think they've done like actual covers since this one, which I bought this one during sort of a haul. I actually didn't get this one. I stopped getting Game Informer just literally like just before this one came out, or at least like I was getting it, but it was inconsistent. Let's get back to this one. This is the hype. I think this is the last page is just about PvP. Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's cool. I've never actually read I've never really read the rest of it. And generally, oh, I remember this, the challenge, just a trivia. I'm not gonna read that. But I don't know, and I love this art for it. You can see that wear and tear right there. That's how you know it got its use. I was actually going to get back into Game Informer a few months before they ended, because I think they stopped doing these near the end or beginning, the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024. And I was actually going to get back into these when the Diablo 4 one was coming out in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. So I was going to resubscribe like right before they stopped doing these, which is crazy. And I don't know which other one she's gone over. Chief, you know, gotta rep that Chief, son. So disappointing, but not to date this video. What is it called? The State of Play came out, and that one like super reputable leaker said that this was the one where Chief was the Master Chief collection for PlayStation was supposedly gonna get announced. Did not happen. So disappointing. I don't know. I didn't really read the rest of these. I just kind of have. That's my segment. Yeah.
E3 Hot 50, Cyberpunk, wow. Now that is a throwback. Spider-Man, oh hell yeah. The Last of Us Part 2, ooh. Oh my. Smash Brothers Ultimate. So they put it in the top 50, but they were like, okay, Game Informer, I see you. I think I only watched Nintendo portion of this E3. I wasn't that big into other companies at the time. Anthem. Wow. That is so sad. I was actually really excited for Anthem. I know I literally just said I wasn't really into other platforms, but I watched someone play Anthem when the game first came out, and I was so excited for Anthem. I thought it looked so good. Kingdom Hearts 3. That is so crazy. Forza Horizon 4? When did 5 come out? I feel like 5 has been out forever. Seeing Horizon 4 makes it feel more recent. That is crazy work. For sure. Captain Spirit. That is an insane throwback. I really liked the Life is Strange games, but I was more of a fan of the second game. And I remember this came out before the second game as like a little free-to-play glimpse of what the future of Life is Strange was like. This was a pretty solid spin-off, if I'm being honest with you. It made me upset, but it wouldn't be a Life is Strange game if it didn't make you upset. Wow, that is crazy. Xbox One. Damn. All right, we move on. Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, if you have seen my other videos, I want you to know I am a big fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy game. I really don't remember this issue of Game Informer. Like, I don't remember seeing this art ever. But if you have not played Guardians of the Galaxy because of, you know, you saw it was published by Square Enix, and because of how Avengers did, it's whatever, I need you to completely erase that mindset and play this game. If you didn't like it, that's cool. At least you gave it a chance. If you ended up thinking it's one of your favorite games of all time, welcome to the club. The future of E3. The pandemic is far from over, but life is slowly returning back to normal. Wow. Having been cooped up for roughly a year and a half, we're eager to get back to doing things the way they used to be. Even before the pandemic hit, E3 was in trouble. That is such funny timing. Even Sony dropped out. Yeah, that did happen. But anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy. I was also one of the people that saw the Guardians of the Galaxy reveal, but instead of being like, oh my gosh, Square Enix, it must be bad, my first thought was, why does the UI kind of look like Xenoblade? But it was so good, I swear. Whenever I get the chance to bring up Guardians of the Galaxy in a video, I will. The Backbone is on here, wow. I was sent a Backbone to make a video on, and honestly, the Backbone is not too bad, but I definitely don't use it as much as I probably should, but that's probably because I have like a ton of handhelds. Hell yeah. This is so cool. I don't think I've ever looked through this magazine, actually. My boyfriend had a phase where he would buy a bunch of Game Informer magazines online, and this is definitely one of the ones I've yet to look through. This is such a nice page spread. Wow. Whoa. I love this. I'm about to geek out for a minute. Look at Drax's design. I hope my camera can pick this up enough because I'm such a big fan of his design. It's so cool. Literally all of the Guardians designs in this game are amazing. I really like that Guardians of the Galaxy is the kind of game where you don't need to know a single thing about the comic books. You probably don't even need to know anything about Marvel to like this game because it introduces everything so well to you. This game just had such a good art direction. Like, I'm still so upset that it did so bad. I think Square Enix sold the studio to another company, or maybe they just transferred to new management. I don't remember. I just remember it made me very upset because nobody freaking talks about Guardians of the Galaxy. I need everyone to play that game. 100%. Halo. This is the Halo Infinite one. Ooh. An interesting bundle of games to advertise, that for sure. I Spot Metroid. And Gotham Knights. That's crazy. Oh, hey, Guardians of the Galaxy's Bayonetta 3. Because Bayonetta 3 was announced only like 2 years ago. Oh, wait, no. I'm thinking of the first trailer. Stupid. Family games to play over the holidays, and we got Sackboy just down here at the bottom, being surrounded by Nintendo. Great anime based on video games. You see that? You see that right there? That's the GOAT right there. That is The World Ends With You. Only my actual favorite game of all time. You thought I was praising Guardians of the Galaxy enough in this video? I just saw a screenshot of The World Ends With You in my magazine. Now, okay, the anime, in my opinion, if you played The World Ends With You in English and then watched the anime in English, they're not exactly the same vibe, but I think it's just because of how the game was translated in English. And I know there's like a whole argument about localization, but I swear to you, The World Ends With You is, in my opinion, the greatest Nintendo DS RPG of all time, and the anime is pretty alright. It's pretty alright. But I will never forget the amount of joy I felt watching the World Ends With You anime get revealed. I was so incredibly excited for that. And also, it was revealed for people who didn't want to play the game before the sequel, which you should totally still play. You should totally still play the sequel and the whatever and all of that jazz. Now hold on. A Pokemon poster? What? Whoa! What the? Oh my gosh. This has never been to- I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to take this out. I'm gonna leave that in there, actually. And I'm going to fold it nice and gentle. But there's something interesting for you to look at. The Nintendo Switch OLED. Wow. How time passes. A B. SMH. Ooh, the Game Awards. I remember when this is, whoa. Whoa. This is really nice. Anyway, Halo Infinite has taken a long road to launch. It sure did. Wow, 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 wow. But we got Final Fantasy! Final Fantasy 15. Learning from the past, looking to the future. Did they? Now, as I'm recording this, Sony just had a state of play where they revealed a game that I currently can't remember the name of, but it had the same vibe as Final Fantasy Versus 13, and I believe that it was inspired by it, which should tell you enough about how 15 ended up. Now, ooh, Bravely Second, that's awesome. Now, fun fact about me. I was a huge fan of Final Fantasy 15 when it came out because I was still pretty young, and I was very into watching people play games and then never watching the never watching the ending. Because I thought, you know what, I'll play it for myself in the future. And so I would just go on never knowing how it ended. So I watched so many like OVAs and fan art and fan animations about Final Fantasy 15. And I made it like my entire personality because, you know, I was a little nerd. I went years and years and years of my life without knowing Final Fantasy 15 ends until a few years ago, in which I was watching somebody play the game for the first time because I was like, oh wow, I haven't thought about Final Fantasy 15 in years. I'm gonna watch this girl play it. And then I saw how it ended for the first time. And it sort of felt like when you watch characters from your childhood cartoon die, except I just never knew. So all these characters that I loved as a kid, just dead. And that was 100% the worst thing to ever happen to me. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't that dramatic, but it felt like it in the moment. Anyway, is this Anthem? Whoa, the cover is like a different feeling than the others. That's kind of crazy. Anthem had so much potential. You know what pisses me off? That they were gonna fix Anthem and then they couldn't. I had faith in it. Also, Spider-Man. Here's a pretty cool one. You know it gets serious when they give you the expiration notice. This is clearly a PlayStation anniversary one, and I thought it was so funny that the second I open it up, there's an Xbox. 2020 was just hearing people being unable to grab a Series X and a PS5. January 2020. Oh, wait. Hold up. Wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Was there like a monthly recap? Oh my god. Stadia, no! Stadia's streaming tech is impressive, but the platform needs work. I'm looking at a corpse. That's crazy. I really wanted to get my hands on a Stadia controller because I was just so curious about how they felt. Like, it really does just look like a mix of all three controllers shoved into one. That is so crazy. PlayStation! Hell yeah. This is where was this in my PlayStation video? Where was this in my PlayStation video? This would have been amazing to show. I should have looked at these sooner. The Nintendo PlayStation. So cool. Oh my gosh, I love this. The no joysticks. It just looks so silly now. But I understand why it was like that. Ooh, the PlayStation 2. Now, I'm just saying. Now, you see there's a vibe going here. I'm getting professional up in here. Anyway, I could talk about the PlayStation 2 for hours. And the PSP, oh my gosh. I'm so excited to see if the new PlayStation handheld rumors are true. Since Xbox basically confirmed that they're doing a handheld, and the rumors are the rumors are circulating about the PlayStation handheld, I will be there. I cannot believe I'm looking at Avengers right now. This, another E3 one. E3 Hot 50. This was E3 2017. The start of it all. Mario Odyssey, of course. Metroid Prime 4, no! After a strange 2016 that focused almost entirely on Zelda, Nintendo returned to a more traditional showcase highlighting Mario Odyssey and Metroid Prime 4. Finally! Don't worry. Don't worry, guy who wrote that paragraph, we are almost there. This is so cool. Coming to E3 is like getting a snapshot of the console gaming industry. Real shit. Too bad this no longer exists. I really miss the E3 reaction videos. I feel like as much as I love the Game Awards, it just doesn't hit the same. Oh, but the Summer Games Fest, you know that's not the same thing. We just have to sit and wait for the Nintendo Directs and State of Plays and Developer Directs. Nintendo shows off Splatoon 2's co-op mode. That is so crazy. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, a new Kirby game. Then came the reveal of Metroid Prime 4 logo. Bill Trinen later confirmed that the first-person Switch game is being made with the involvement of Metroid Prime 1 and 3 producer. Wow. Oh, Metroid Prime 4, how I'm excited for you. The best tech of E3 2017. Hey, the 8-bit dough. That's actually a really good controller. Most fascinating trailers, and it's Anthem. Maybe this is my sign to play Anthem, even though we all know how Anthem came out. Hey, Pikmin! Oh, goodness me. Metopia! Back to... Oh! 2DS XL! Gosh, Mario Hot 50. That is so cool. I remember how crazy that dinosaur looked to people when that was first showcased. Spider-Man! 2017 just felt so fresh. Now, I know I was on the Nintendo side of the internet during 2017, but there was something just so fresh about video games. There was just so much, there was so much hope. You know what I mean? There's one that I remember. The top 100 RPGs of all time. This was one of my favorite Game Informer covers, just because it's awesome. Now you are speaking my language. This is the perfect place to advertise this game. This is my favorite Fire Emblem game of all time. And I think everyone should experience Fire Emblem Echoes one way or another. Let's move on. Switch Survival Kit. I like to imagine they made this because of how often they kept bending. Top 100 RPGs of all time by Game Informer staff. Dragon Quest III. The World Ends With You is on here! Guys, I know it's at the bottom. It's part of the top 100. I need you all to trust Game Informer with this one. And it's right next to Golden Sun. So clearly there's a correlation here. Destiny's on here. Vagrant Story, Horizon Zero Dawn, Xenoblade, South Park Stick of Truth is right under Destiny. That is crazy work. Monster Hunter Generations. Let's go. Undertale. Undertale's in front of Paper Mario. Interesting. Baldur's Gate. Darkest Dungeon. The Witcher 2. Fable 2. Alright. Xenogears. Persona 3. Breath of the Wild. Fire Emblem Awakening. Mass Effect 3. Fallout 1. Oh, and Fallout New Vegas. Final Fantasy X. Ooh. I see. The first Final Fantasy? Now we're getting a little interesting, Game Informer. What do you mean the first Final Fantasy? This game may not have aged as well as other games. Yeah. No, I'm sure there are people who... Ooh, Earthbound! I'm sure there are people who really like the first Final Fantasy game. I need to calm down. Super Mario RPG, Persona 5, alright, saw one coming. Final Fantasy 7, I'm surprised it's at 18. At least, like, when you consider, like, the majority, I feel like Final Fantasy 7 would be a lot higher, so now I'm getting curious. We're reaching the top 10. Fallout 3, Bloodborne are 12 and 11, but 10 is Final Fantasy Tactics. Interesting indeed. Baldur's Gate 2, Diablo 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, World of Warcraft. That makes sense, actually. It's just been a minute since I've heard World of Warcraft. The Witcher 3, Mass Effect 2. We're entering the top 3 and I'm getting nervous. Chrono Trigger, okay. Final Fantasy 6. Interesting. Skyrim, okay, well. Oh, and a 0? Don't do the check. Real. I guess Skyrim was kind of predictable, wasn't it? I can't believe Final Fantasy 7 was that low, though. Ooh. Here's one. It was my first Game Informer magazine, so I remember this one very well. I got this one, I think this came in the mail like right before the Switch came out. Oh yeah, there it is. In stores March 3rd, also available on Wii U. That is the last time you'd ever see that. This is not my copy of this magazine, but I did cut this part out and I hung this on my wall with like every single Switch ad I could find. Is Sega slipping? Oh, this is the age of HD remakes, so why can't we get at least some of those, if not new games? The Pagger? Sorry. Panzer Dragoon, Daytona USA, Sega GT, and Jet Set Radio, all the Virtua series. Many Sega games are hard to come by these days. HD remakes would solve this problem, and it would also put some pennies back in Sega's pocket. That's crazy that we're only now getting those HD remakes. Well, they're not even HD remakes. We don't even, as I'm recording this video, we don't even know what Sega's doing. We know they're making one big game and that they're bringing back Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi and something else I can't remember. But yeah, that aged really interestingly. Changing the formula. How Nintendo is rethinking consoles and redefining Zelda. I really wish Game Informer still made magazines. Physically is what I mean. But I would be so curious to see how a Switch 2 version of this spread would look like. There's arms! You know, I remember the reveal of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I was one of the people that was really not a fan of the art style Switch. I haven't played Xenoblade 2, but 3 piqued my interest a little bit, so there's that. Maybe I will pick up 2 one day. I don't know. I was a big fan of 1 though. I already have a video about the launch of the Switch, so I don't have much to say that I won't repeat in that video. Puyo Puyo Tetris, I actually played this game recently and for the first time, and I really liked it. Seeing snipper clips again is really interesting. I saw people say that they should bring back snipper clips for the Switch 2, and I think that would be really cool. Splatoon 2. Crazy how old Splatoon 2 looks now. I've been thinking about playing this game too, because I am currently in a huge platinum games phase, and every time that I learn about a new platinum game, I'm immediately hooked. I know that a lot of stuff happened in platinum games recently, but I can keep hoping that Bayonetta 4 will be good. This is kind of making me feel old, and I watch a lot of videos about people flipping through old magazines, but they're not like, this feels pretty recent in comparison. This one's kind of interesting too. This might be the last one I look at for now, but you saw how big that stack is. So if you are interested in me looking at more of these, I will happily do so. Kena Bridge of Spirits, or Kena, but I've heard people say Kena, so I'm gonna say Kena. I remember when this game was revealed, I was immediately obsessed with the art direction. I know a lot of people said that it was giving like like wannabe Pixar movie. Even though I'm not really a fan of how these little gremlin creatures look, I was a big fan of the environments that the game showed. I thought about picking it up on Steam Deck recently, but I have many other games that I want to play right now. But honestly, I really thought that the art for this game looked gorgeous. If you played it, let me know, because I'm very curious about it. Games of the generation, the top tier. The Last of Us Part 2, Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, Breath of the Wild, and God of War. Interesting. Story-driven, first-person shooters, intense action. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Destiny 2, Titanfall 2, Durm Eternal? I'm keeping that in. Oh shoot. This is the first time I see Fortnite in one of these. Few would have guessed when Fortnite was first revealed as a co-op fort builder that it would transform into the juggernaut it became in more recent years. From its defining role in growing the booming battle royale scene to its games as service business model, this game crossed into the world's consciousness and remains a fixture in gaming and popular culture. I have a funny story about Fortnite. In middle school, when Fortnite was starting to take off, I said before that in middle school I went to like a small Christian school, and I was sort of the only person in my class that played video games because our class was so small. The teachers in my school had a teacher meeting about Fortnite specifically and how it was distracting kids from learning. So immediately after their meeting, they came into class and my math teacher walked in and said, "We just had a very interesting meeting about a new video game called Fortnite. Have any of you played it?" And I already knew where it was going immediately because a lot of teachers do that, like, video games are bad for you kind of talk. And I stayed pretty silent, right? But the girl next to me had to raise her hand and say, "I think he plays Fortnite." You know how middle schoolers are. Everyone turns to look at you. And I sat there and I was like, "Sometimes I play Fortnite." And then my teacher looked at me and was like, "Well, we just had a discussion about Fortnite and how it is affecting kids' brains, so you should probably stay away from that game." All right, way to call me out, girl sitting next to me years ago. Anyway, I really like, what? Yeah. Disarmingly cute is a crazy way to say that. Hold on. Disarmingly cute video game enemies, and you're showing mock droids? Do people think mock droids are cute? I think they're just as terrifying as Metroids. Whatever, Game Informer. Whatever you say. Oh my goodness. You see what I'm talking about? The art direction was beautiful. I really wonder. I have to look up what happened to this game. It was just so intriguing. The reveal stood out, and even though it didn't stand out in an entirely positive light, I thought this game looked really fun. Ghostwire Tokyo is another game I really want to play. I heard that game was pretty good. Let's actually do one last one before we're done, because it is Miles Morales. I really liked this game. Fall Guys. Was this this was when Fall Guys started to get popular. Whoever drew this picture, who drew this? Callie Case Quinn. This is such a good photo. I want a print of that on my wall right now. The dawn of the new age. Oh no. A double-barreled approach. Ooh. Both PlayStation and Xbox are opting to release two separate models of their hardware. While PlayStation 5's two models are essentially identical, Xbox decided to launch two models with slightly different capabilities. Despite the downgrade of the Series S, Microsoft still aims to deliver next-gen experiences with the Series S. It's less powerful than the bulkier Series X, but still plays all the same games. Regardless of which model you choose, both PlayStation and Xbox are promising marked improvements in how you experience your games. I can't believe this has already aged interestingly. Now, obviously, this is a magazine meant for fans of everybody, but they really seemed power-wise just neck and neck, didn't they? Speaking of neck and neck, this is crazy. Hold on. Which next-gen console do you plan to purchase? Only 15% of people said the Xbox Series X. Oh my. Which console has the best looking design? 69% of people said the PS5. Which are you most excited about? 71% of people said the PS5. Which current gen console do you own? 44% said PS4. 37% said both, though. So that's interesting, because only 23% of people said they wanted both the PS5 and Series X. As someone who has both, but I own the Series X and my boyfriend owns the PS5, I mean, yeah, I get it. Microsoft did admit that the Xbox One era was like the worst time for them to lose, because that's when like the digital age started, and because digital games were becoming the norm during that era, nobody's gonna buy a bunch of PS4 games and then want to switch to the Xbox. But beforehand, it was a lot easier to mix and match and experiment, you know, because everyone had these physical games and it was probably a lot easier to trade it in with others. But if your entire library is digital, you're not just gonna abandon it like that. And PlayStation 100% knows that now. As I'm recording this, the PlayStation outage was pretty recent. How important is backwards compatibility to you? 41% of people said very important, but 44% of people said somewhat important. That's really interesting. I do wish that the PS5 was a bit more backwards compatible, but you know, there was that whole PS3 development issue thing. If next-gen games had a price point of $70 each, would you be willing to pay that amount? 58% of people said yes, but 41% of people said no. I still think that $70 games is really crazy, but that's just my opinion. How long do you expect games to continue coming out for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One after they come out? 42% of people said 1 year, and 44% of people said 2 years. 12% of people said 3 years or more. That is really interesting considering how many PS4 games are coming out now, and there aren't like any Xbox One games that I can think of that are still coming out, but I know that there's a good chunk of PS4 games still coming out. So that is really interesting how different that turned out. What is the most you're willing to pay for a next-gen system? 62% of people said $500, and 21% of people said $600. 16% of people said under. That is very, very interesting. This is a really cool looking page spread. The holiday buying guide of 2020. Interesting. Now, I love looking at holiday gift guides, but I feel like there's a good amount of videos of people looking at holiday gift guides from like previous years already. So let's see what Game Informer had to say in 2020. The Lego NES. Of course. Sackboy, I want that. Great for kids. No, great for me. The Deadpool interactive head. I forgot about that. There used to be so many TikToks of people talking to that damn head. The Halo Nerf gun. That looks awesome. I had no idea that existed. The retro Final Fantasy VII figures. That looks so cool. I do want this. Books and comics. Interesting. I didn't know Game Informer could recommend books. A Deadly Education. I actually want to read this book. If you don't know, I really like reading. I have a whole bookshelf that I just never wanted to make a video on. But if you're interested in my book collection, let me know. Tabletop games. Ooh. Onto the tech. An Alienware laptop, of course. The ultra wide monitor. That is a crazy, crazy gift. The Pixel Buds. They look like PlayStation earbuds. The Oculus Quest 2. A keyboard adapter for consoles. That's crazy. Next gen compatible. That's pretty interesting. That's kind of like how a lot of the Switch 2 accessories say like prepare for the next gen. And it's like we're ready for the next gen. TV and film, Rick and Morty, awesome. And an Apple Watch. All right. What are these Sonic looking shoes? Are these actual Sonic shoes? Oh, it's Mario. My bad. This looks awesome. I know the Miles Morales game was pretty short, but I absolutely loved this game. I think I have a bias though because I'm a big fan of Miles Morales already. I was one of those people that said Spider-Verse 1 was like my favorite movie of all time because of its art direction. And it still has a really good art direction. Baldur's Gate 3 was in early access around that time. Holy moly. I loved seeing people make their characters. And, like, the people who spend, like, 5 hours making their characters, I respect it because I did the same thing during the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. Honestly, Baldur's Gate 3 got so many of those Sims people just based off of that character creation. Hytale? I haven't heard that name in years. Hytale? What the fart? If you don't know about Hytale was made by the creators of the Hypixel Minecraft server, and they announced a game, Hytale, so freaking long ago. It says look for Hytale to make waves on PC next year. That is insane. I completely forgot about Hytale. It was basically Hypixel's attempt to make a better Minecraft from what I could gather and make it like more fantasy-ish. Trying to grab all of those Hypixel players onto the game. That is insane. That game still doesn't have a release date. Oh, Avengers is on here. That can't be the right scoring for Avengers. We are now at the end of that one. Now, I still want to edit this video in a timely manner, so I'm gonna leave it at these ones for now. But if you are interested in me flipping through more of these, since I have so many, I will happily do so. Oh, sorry, we actually went through that one too. And also that one. We went through 10 today. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I didn't have so much to talk and ramble about. I'm sure if I look through the other ones, I will find more things to talk about. If there's anything that you saw in these magazines that sparked your interest and you want to talk about, feel free to do so in the comments. I love seeing people talk about things that they like. That out of the way, I will see you guys later. Bye bye!